Welcome to the Lyons Share, where we talk family, faith, football, finance, and fun. I'm your host, Mitch Lyons, and we have the Dog Spotlight. This week's Spotlight highlighting a Fair State women's basketball player. This episode, as always, brought to you by Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement. And today we have on Emma Schierbeek, a junior guard out of McBain, Michigan. Emma, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
It's great to have you. I wanted to have you on because you're somebody that's kind of stood out here early in the season. From a small town in northern Michigan, McBain, and haven't played a ton the last couple of years. And this year it's kind of changed a little bit, and you've kind of plowed your way into that mix of the playing group, and you did it in a big way in the second game of the season where we'd had some trouble putting the ball in and against Central Missouri, and you came in the second half and you just kind of got on fire and lit it up for 14 points and kind of single-handedly kept us in the game. And while we still lost, you were frankly the only reason we were still in it. So what did that feel like for you to kind of be working at your craft for a couple years and finally get an opportunity to shine? That had to feel pretty good.
It was really great. Obviously, stay ready. Like, you never know when your time's gonna be. But I think I've worked so hard for this opportunity, and I'm just glad I really had it, and I got to prove like what I can do. So,
Well, it's funny because the kickoff event, I forget the name of it, where you guys came out when you and the men's team, the dog, what was it called? Dogs at
oh
Night.
yeah, the dogs after
Yeah,
dinner.
and they had a little shooting competition, and you were the women's team's representative, and at the time I was like, oh, all right, okay, cool. I hadn't seen you play that much, so I was like, all right, well then you kind of lit it up in the 3-point shootout, and I was like, this girl can stroke it, and it's fun. It was fun to see that carry over, in that second game especially, where you got some minutes, significant minutes, and you made it count. And I love that because I'm a guy that I played football at Michigan State, and it took me a good 4 years to really see significant time on the field. And and I always say, don't complain and whine, and then drop the ball when you get your opportunity. And to your point, it's you got to be ready, and you certainly showed that. And then this most recent game last Saturday, against Great Lakes Christian, you lit it up for 22. I think you were 6 for 13 from behind the arc, and you've kind of continued that. And I can see. The confidence. You don't look at too many 3-pointers and turn them down, and deservedly so because you're shooting at a high clip.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think like that game, my teammates just found me open, and I just happened to be open every time. So I'm like, well, gotta shoot it.
Well, we're 5 games in. You guys are 4-1, and the thing that's impressed me most with you girls, and for number one, you've got a good culture. You guys have good camaraderie. There doesn't seem to be any clickiness in the team, and everybody's one big family. But the way you share the ball, right? Everybody moves the ball. There's not a lot of ball stoppers in the offense where everyone's unselfish, and if Emma's hot, they're going to get you the ball and let you shoot it. And if Caden's hot, it's kind of the same thing. And I love watching that. So I think that's something that you guys, Coach Kurt has fostered there. But you guys, it's fun to watch you guys play that way.
Yeah, it's definitely so much more fun when everyone can get along, share the ball, and know like, oh, this person's hot, we'll give them the ball. Like they're not nobody is selfish on our team, and I love that.
Well, and it's kind of been that way for you guys all year. I mean, there's typically a different leading scorer all year. Last week's guest I had on was Mia, or first week I had on was Mia Riley, and
Hmm.
she's probably been the most consistent scorer. But I think
Yeah,
I'm not even sure she's led the team in scoring yet. But she's probably the high scorer on the team just because she's been so consistent. But yet,
yeah, for
you're a high
sure.
scorer one time. Kaden gets 32 one game. It's always somebody different, and it makes it really hard to defend you guys because at any given time, somebody can go for 18 or 20, and you never really know where it's going to come from. Last week, one of your freshmen steps up and gets some minutes, and
Yeah.
Alyssa Worth, who's going to be a problem for people going forward. She's 6'5", very long, and she doesn't have to jump very high to block shots once she unfurls that arm up, right? I guess speak to that. You've got some freshmen, a couple of them are dealing with some injuries, but Grace Lyons and Alyssa Worth, they seem to have kind of fit in with the team as well. And you just had a new group of recruits sign in, and I see the banter back and forth between existing teammates or existing team members and the recruits. It just seems like the culture just keeps fostering itself. Maybe speak to that as new girls come into the program and you coming into the program and now being a veteran, welcoming new players in. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like everyone, like we're all so welcoming. Like there's not a single person that we were like, oh, like we don't want you to be here. Like we want everyone to be here. Like our culture is so good. Like we just, yeah, we're so welcoming. And the freshmen, we love them all. Like they're fitting in great. It's just everything's going really well. So
Yeah, it's fun to see, and I think that the thing with Ferris's team is really, one through 13, and like I said, you've got a couple that are injured, but really 1 through 11 now that are able to play. I mean, I think you can really go with anybody out there at any time, and you don't really see a huge drop off, which I think is important because throughout the course of a long season, injuries happen and whatnot. And to have people ready that can come in and step in and fill the gap and have confidence in themselves, but also the coaching staff and the
mhm.
fellow teammates to have confidence in them is important. So, and it just when you can roll that many through, I think it really helps you over the course of a long season as you prep for playoffs and even into the ensuing years. So that's really fun as a fan of basketball to watch is the culture that's going on there.
Yeah, for sure.
So Emma, you're a business major. Maybe share a little bit with what you see in your future. You obviously you've got a couple more years of basketball to go, but what do you see for a career for yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm not totally sure yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I just find business really interesting because there's just so many different aspects of it that you could put with any part of your life, honestly. So I just thought it would be a really resourceful major to choose. So,
Yeah, that's kind of the same tact I took as well. I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I grew up, and still really didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. When I got done with 7 years in the NFL, but I had a general business administration degree from Michigan State, which was a major at the time. So a little bit of everything, accounting and
yeah,
econ and all that fun stuff. But then and since created Mitch Lyons Wealth and helping people with retirement planning, which leads us back to the NIL deal that Mitch Lyons Wealth did with the girls. I guess what were your thoughts on that? It's kind of the first of its kind, as far as I can see nationally, where people where a company has embraced an entire team and done that. And I told you guys when I announced that to you, hey, it's a partnership, right? It's not just a gift. Yes, I love you all, but I'm not just giving money away, right? I mean,
great.
and you guys have been pretty creative on some of the weekly the Days of Our Dogs episodes. It seems like Kaden has taken over the monopoly of the starring role. She seems to be in a lot of them. I see this week's
Yeah.
coming out too. But what's your thought on NIL in general, the deal with you girls? But also, I mean, did it open your eyes to okay, maybe there's more opportunity for this, with local businesses and whatnot?
Yeah, I was super excited about it all. Like, I definitely think it helps promote like not only other businesses, but like our team too. Like, just making those videos, it puts our team out there. Like, oh, these girls must be like really fun to be around and stuff. So, and like businesses and stuff, it'll just like social media, it'll promote them more and get the word out more. So,
Well, it's been fun to be part of it and to watch, to see the personality of you guys. I mean, for the listeners out there, I mean, you can go to any of the social media platforms. We have that Mitch Lyons. You can go to mitchlyonswealth.com and follow any of the social media platforms on X or YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook and see those weekly episodes because they're pretty funny and they're getting more creative as you guys go here. So I
yeah.
look forward to watching that unfold as the season progresses. But Emma, you've got a couple games this week against Northwood and Ashland, and
Mhm.
then you guys get a little time off for Thanksgiving. But I wish you nothing but the best. I'm looking forward to these games this week and watching to see you progress because I can see the confidence building and it's fun to watch. And you've got a great shot, and your teammates are getting you. So keep it up and best wishes for you.
Thank you so much. I will.
All right. Thank you, Emma. And this is the Lion Share. Don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, and go to MitchLionsWealth.com. We've got a lot of free tools out there for you. A free movie, a free book, and you can use our tax tool there to see what you're really going to pay in retirement in taxes. So thanks. And this is the end of the Lion Share.